G'day, wonderful listeners. This is episode 73 of Trev's Talk, and I'm your host, Trev. Last week, I left off promising an update on my application for medical clearance to fly planes. I had reported to you that I had a claim against the Aviation Authority, CASA, on the grounds of them discriminating by their refusal to grant me the proper medical certification on the basis that I had mental health issues 25 years ago. Well, the news is that the Human Rights Commission, the organisation I lodged my claim of discrimination with, has served me with a termination notice. They are not going ahead with my claim. So I've now been refused medical clearance by CASA initially, and then refused again when I submitted a Reconsider Appeal. I then lodged an appeal with the Administrative Review Tribunal, which I withdrew from when, in their mediation process, I realised my appeal was against their rules and not a discrimination claim. I had learned by then that a claim for discrimination had to be heard by the Human Rights Commission. So I did that. I lodged my claim for discrimination with them, and as I said at the start, the Human Rights Commission did not think my case strong enough to overcome CASA's rules. The Human Rights Commission included with their notice of termination advice that I could take my case to the federal court for a court ruling on whether I was discriminated against or not. Many years ago, when I was trying to get the City of Swan or Lottery West or any other organisation to donate a minibus to the Medjugorje Centre charity, I met a lady from a legal firm called Maria, who said she was a partner but also gave time to doing volunteering within the community. She asked me about what I was doing at the Aboriginal school and offered to help me with assistance to students struggling with reading. I arranged with some of the teachers at the school for Maria to help in their classrooms, and Maria arranged for other staff members from the legal firm to join her on a roster system so that pairs of the legal firm staff gave regular reading assistance to struggling students. This attitude of Maria impressed me greatly, and now, when the Human Rights Commission have abandoned my discrimination claim and suggested the federal court, my mind has returned to Maria and the legal firm. If my next move to get medical clearance to fly planes means I have to put my case to the federal court, then I should consult Maria. I will do it now. I called Maria and she said her firm, Avon Legal, do not take discrimination cases, and only a few lawyers in Perth do. She said to tell her about my case and she will see if she can advise me on it. So I sent her an email on my case with the termination documents from the Human Rights Commission so that she can get some understanding of my situation. I sent the email late on a Friday afternoon, so won't hear from Maria until next week sometime. I feel that if the Human Rights Commission hesitates to agree with me that I've been discriminated against by CASA, my chances of winning my case with the federal court is pretty shaky. I await Maria's opinion on that too. But I also recall 3 times dreaming that I was dealing with planes, and the last one of those dreams, which was not very long ago, had me walking away from a plane I had just been flying with the knowledge that I had just passed my flying test, and my steps were jaunty and confident. So the spirit world, Our Lady or the Holy Spirit, is telling me that I win in the end and do get to fly planes. This makes me push on and employ a lawyer to fight my case with CASA until I win my medical clearance and learn to fly. If I had never had special dreams indicating that I get to fly, I would have pulled out of my fight with CASA when I got that first knockback soon after September 2024, when I did my first medical with the CASA doctor. When my case is heard in the federal court, it will come to the notice of the court reporter and may lead to a story in the media. My story has several angles of interest to readers, and should a reporter chat with me, I could quickly gain their attention. I have told you before, wonderful listeners, about receiving big publicity to empower the Medjugorje. I spoke on it in several early episodes, episodes 3, 7, 12 and 26, to name a few. In my first encounter with the Holy Spirit at Medjugorje back in 1990, I was given the knowledge that I would be in big publicity and I would be posing for TV cameras. I did not fully understand that at the time, but have come to understand it as time has gone by. So this morning there was an article on discrimination by Ben Harvey of the Sunday Times. I have history with Ben Harvey from before starting this podcast. He wrote an article in an effort to raise awareness of the dire situation of a man named Robbie, who was badly burnt as a child and had devastating damage done to his hands. He had also had a bad run with cars and had lost his most recent one. Ben Harvey wrote an article attempting to raise funds to buy a car for Robbie. I saw the article in the paper at the time when doing my Sunday morning reading after breakfast. I had a good friend, Phil, who was a high-level employee at Canning Vale Toyota, and even though it was a Sunday, I gave him a ring and pointed out to him Robbie's situation and suggested Canning Vale Toyota jump in and see how they could help Robbie. Phil got straight onto it and subsequently did arrange for a nice second-hand car to be offered to Robbie at no cost to him. The cost was covered by lovely people that read Ben Harvey's article and sent in donations to pay for a car for Robbie. At the presentation ceremony, where the car, dressed in a huge ribbon with a large bow, was displayed ready for Robbie to drive it away, I had a chance to chat briefly with Ben Harvey, who said he owed me one for facilitating the car gift to Robbie. I was the catalyst that brought it all together. You know me by now, wonderful listeners. I saw an opportunity to ask Ben Harvey for a favour. I thought I might be able to get him to do a story on me and Medjugorje and bring the fact that I had holy water called Medjugorje into it. I was angling to get the publicity needed for the full empowerment of the Medjugorje. Just minutes ago, I pointed out to you that previous episodes 3, 7, 12 and 26 speak abundantly about the empowerment of my Medjugorje. Anyway, Ben did try to get a story past his editor and into the Sunday Times, but his editor said because he was new to the job and did not know how the political landscape lay, he would hold up my story for a while, and then the story just faded away. It never got published. But Ben did try to repay me for helping him get a car for Robbie. The editor squashed my story, not Ben. Now, back to me reading about Ben Harvey's story on discrimination in the Sunday Times this morning. Because I remember that my Medjugorje experience of me being in big publicity, including posing for TV cameras, and leading up to the full empowerment of the Medjugorje, I should not settle for a newspaper story, such as I would get in the Sunday Times. I should remain patient and wait to see if I get a TV story by fighting my discrimination case in the federal court. Remember me telling you that I've had 3 special dreams, all pointing to me flying planes? I believe that is Our Lady or the Holy Spirit letting me know in advance that I will win the discrimination case. They are encouraging me to fight on. Well, wonderful listeners, it has come to that time again. That's it for this week. Catch you again next week. This is Trev, tuning out.